Hello everyone, this is Manoj. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to build a simple but stylish calculator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript as you can see on your screen, and we'll build it step by step so even beginners can follow along. And by the end of this video, you'll have a fully functional calculator as you can see here. So let's try to add something. So 10 plus 20, 30. Okay, 30 minus 15 15, and if you want to delete the digits one by one, that is also working. And if you want to clear the input box, we can do that. Okay, so this will be our end output. So let's start it. So first, so this is our index.html. So here first, if you see, I have a simple HTML form. So inside the body, let's add the first div. So div, and we'll make it class as calculator, and inside this let's add a h1 tag, simple calculator, and let's close the div. So we have added our div. Let me quickly align this, save. Now the second step is let's write some CSS for this div. So let's go to the style.css, and before that let's include this in our head. So link rel is equal style sheet, and href is equal to style.css. Let's also add our script tag because we also need a script file. So script source will be script.js, and let's close this. This should be within the inverted commas. So script source, we need to close it like this way, save. Now let's go back to our styles. So now we need to add our styles. So first let's start with the body. So we'll add the body one. So display flags. We want to add the calculator in the center of the window. So justify content center, and align items also center. And so we want the calculator is between the document from horizontally as well as the vertically. So let's add the height also, height as 100 vh, save. And let's give some background, F4 F4 F4, and let's also give some font family, Arial, the first one. Let me choose the first one, save. Now let's add the class. If you see here, we have added a class calculator. So let's copy dot calculator. Let's make the class as with starting with the lower C. So that's approach. Okay, if you want you can use it, but this is the best approach to create the classes. So let's say background as white. Let's give padding 20 pixel, border radius 12 pixel, and let's also give some box shadow 0.5 pixel, 15 pixel, and a color RGBA. So it will be 000 and 0.1. Save. Now let's give some width, let's say 300 pixel, and text align should be center. Save. See, so it is coming in the center. Now let's add the input type. Okay, so here just below this one, input type, it will be a text, and let's add it ID as display, and it will be a disabled because we don't want user to add manually in this box. So we want whenever user will click any of the button, so that particular value will go and store in that text box. So we have this one. Now we need to add the CSS of this. So let's add the CSS. Let's go back to our style.css. So here, so for ID we will use hash display. So let's give width as 100%. Okay, width is coming. If you are following along, you can see this is the complete width. Let's give some padding. Let's say 15 pixel. Font size 1.5 rem. Text align, it should start the text from the right, and also give background color. So F0, F0, F0. So this will be a little light color. Sorry, not one. It should be font size 1.5. Sorry, and let's also increase width as 90%. So it will be within that main div. Border, we don't want any border, and let's give some margin bottom so that the buttons will have some gap. So 10 pixel, and also give some border radius. So let's say 8 pixel. Save. So you can see we have our input box. Now let's go to our index.html and we have to add some buttons. All right. So here below this we need to add some buttons. So for that, first we need to add a new div with a class name buttons. Okay. Now let's try to add some quick buttons. So button and C. Okay. Save. So we have C button. Let me quickly copy. So we need some buttons over here. So second one, this will be kind of a you know delete one. Okay. This will be for divide, and this will be for multiplication. So let's use capital X or lower X. Okay. Now so we have these buttons. Now let's also add some buttons over here. So 7, 8, 9, and this will be a -1 for subtraction. Okay. Now 4, 5, 6, and this will be plus 1, 2, 3, and we also need one more is equal to, and we need two more buttons, one for 0 and one for decimal dot. Okay, now we also need on click. So if you see here, this will be for, if I give on click event, so it will clear the display, clear display. Okay, let me quickly give all the buttons as on click event. Paste. Similarly for 4, 5, 6 plus, similarly for these buttons. And so if you want to know how I'm doing it, so you need to press Control Shift and Alt, and then you have to, you know, click on the down arrow, so it will select that area, and then you have to paste. So by that way you can paste within the multiple rows the same content. All right, now, so in the first one, if you see here, clear display, we have a C button, it will clear the display. For the second one, it will add, it will delete the last one. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you click on it, it will delete from the right, 4, 3, 2, 1, like this. Okay, this will be for append value, append value. This is for the divide. Okay, I'll update the icons very quick, and this will be for multiplication, so I'm using asterisk. Okay, so I have updated these icons. So now this is the for backspace, or you can say the to delete digits one by one. Now similarly, this will use append. Let me quickly copy this and paste in here, and it will append 7, 8, 9, minus. Okay, paste 4, 5, 6 plus. Same thing for 1, 2, 3, n is equal to. So this will append 1, 2, 3 is equal to. Paste 0 and dot. Sorry, dot. Save. All right. Now we are done with our buttons, and we have created a div with the class buttons, and inside that we have all the calculator buttons. Like as you can see, we can see on our screen, and each button calls a JavaScript function when we click. Okay, now let's give some style. So let's go to the style.css. So here, as you can see, we have class as buttons. So let's create a class. So dot buttons. So now we need to display these buttons in a grid. Okay, so the first will be display grid. Okay, all are coming as a grid. Now we need to repeat the columns. Okay, so grid template columns, repeat. So how many columns you want to repeat? So 4 comma 1 fr. Save. Sorry, there are two commas by mistake I have added. Correct. Now you can see 4 buttons are coming in a single row. okay, because it is repeating 4 columns. Now we also need to give some gap between these buttons, so gap 10 pixel, save. So we have a clear gap. Now let's also give style to these buttons. All right, so let's have button, let's give adding 15 px, perfect. Font size 1.5 rem, or let's use 1.2 rem. Save. Border none, we don't need any border. We need border radius 8 pixel, and let's use some background color of these buttons. So background color, not the white one. Let's give color as black. Save. And let's use color white. Save. Perfect. Now if you see, when I also want to display my cursor as a pointer, so cursor pointer, perfect. Now let's also add some transition. Okay, let's add transition. So we'll use background color 0.2 second is save. Okay, now let's also give some pseudo classes. So when we try to hover on any of the button, it should change the color. Okay, so we have added transition, also we have added button class. So now button hover, so background color black. Save. And when the button will be active, so button active, so background color will be, let's say, F0 AA07. Save. See, so when you click on it, you will see some background change. Now let's also add a new class called special class. So I don't want to, all buttons will be the same background. So I want these are some operational buttons, right? So let's give some different class. So let's create a special class, and let's use the background color as, let's say, orange. Save. And let's copy this class, go to our HTML, and we need to apply this class to some buttons. So class, save. Perfect. Similarly, let's copy this one and apply on this minus, plus is equal to save. Right, they are looking good. And when you hover on them, so using that pseudo class, the background color is changing to black. Perfect. Now we have added all the buttons, we have added all the classes, right? Now time to add the JavaScript functions. So now let's go to the script.js. So as you can see on in our HTML page, we have killer display, we have delete last, right? And we have all these buttons. So multiplication subtraction is equal to sorry, this will be plus save. Okay, now go to script.js. Now if you see, this is our display button, I mean display area. So whatever value we will whatever button we will press, so we need that particular value to be displayed over here. So let's copy this id, go to our script.js. So first let's get that value. So let me give let display is equal to, so using document dot get element by id, and using that id name we can get the value. So now we have the element. Now first let's create this append value. Okay, so come here, function append value, and it will get a value from the respective buttons, as you can see here. So this is the value. Okay, when you press 7, so it will pass 7 to this function. Okay, now so display dot value, you can see this is the element, and dot value is the value of this input text box, and we will append is equal to value. Save. Now let's try to click any button. See, we are able to input the digits. Okay, so whatever button you are pressing, it is showing the data. Let's refresh. Correct. Second thing is, let's try to create a clear display. So function, if you go here, clear display, let's copy this, paste. Now if I add something and I want to clear this when I press on this button, so display dot value is equal to blank. Save. So if you see, perfect, this is working. Nice. Third thing is, let's add another function that is for deleting the digits one by one. So let's copy this, delete last. So let's create a function here. So when user will click on it, so we need to delete the letters by one. So if you see here, 1 2 3 4, so when I click on this, so I want 4 should be deleted first, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Okay, so how we can do that? We can do it using slice. Okay, so display dot value is equal to display dot value dot slice. Okay, this is a JavaScript function. So dot slice, it will start from the 0th index and it will go to the last, so it will start from the right. Okay, and it deletes the uh, digits one by one. So let's save this. Let's try 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1. Perfect. So our delete last is also working. Now the main function is calculate. Okay, now if you see here, we have to create a method called calculate. Okay, and using calculate, what we do on the here, not append value, so basically here we need to change this as calculate. Okay, let's copy this, copy function calculate. Okay, why we need this one? Because when you click on it, when you click on this is equal to button, it will fire up this calculate. Okay, so and we don't need to pass anything, we just need to activate this click event. So here on this one again we need to add this display dot value is equal to, now we use a eval function of JavaScript. What it does, it takes the, as you can see on the IntelliSense also, it takes the string and it try to perform the baud mass operations, whatever string you have passed inside it. I'll show you. in a moment. So display dot value. Okay, save. Now if you see here, 1 2, or let's say 10 plus 20. If you see in this input text box, we have 10 plus 20. So what it will do, this eval will take it 10, it automatically takes these two different digits, and it will add them. Okay, if I try to click, see, so that is done by the eval function of JavaScript. Okay, so now again, let me clear this one. 10 plus 20 plus 30 minus 5 is equal to 55, right? So that is all done by this eval function. Okay, so we let me add one more thing. So here, if you see here blank, if I try to add, see, undefined, we don't want to display this undefined. Why it is undefined? Because when we click on this, it is trying to perform the eval operation you on the value, but there is no value right in this. So let's try to handle this. So for that we need to add try catch. So try catch error, and first let's put this in try block, sorry, and in the error simply add error, save. Now let's try to add this. So 70 plus 20, 90, clear. Okay, okay, okay. It is still showing the undefined. So now, sorry. Okay. So after applying try catch, it is still showing the undefined. Okay. So now what we have to do is first here in the try block, let's add if display dot value, then only it will go here, save. Okay, it is not showing. And if you want to add the error here, so we can add one more. So now let's save this now. So 10 plus 20, 30, clear error. Okay, Okay, so to handle this undefined, let's try to add try catch and some conditions over here. So first add try catch. It's always good to use try catch blocks in your code when you have some calculations kind of a thing. Okay, so first in the try block, let's use this one, and also in the catch block, let's paste the same, but here make it error. Okay, so we have added the try catch block. Save. Now, but still if you see here, 10 plus 20 working fine, but still undefined. Why? Because it is always trying to, giving this or executing this value. Okay, but it is trying to get the value, but there is no value. That is what is giving undefined. So let's try to handle this as well. So if display dot value, then it will execute this, else it will go to the down. Or let's add else condition as well. So else, sorry, delete, that is the correct one, paste. Or when there is a single line, then we don't need these curly braces. Perfect. Save. Let's refresh this as well. So 10 plus 20, sorry, 10 plus 20, 30, clear, error. Perfect. Again, 1 2 5 4 6, 1 2 3 4, perfect. 10 into 10, sorry, 10 into, why this button is not working? Okay, sorry, I missed this one. On click, and this will be asterisk. Save. Refresh. 10 into a band value. Save. 10 into 10, 100, right? So that's it for today's video. I hope you like it, and if you did so, hit the like button, share and comment. And let's say if you're working for any your college project, or you're doing any internship and you're facing any problems related to your React.js project, .NET Core, SQL, MySQL, .NET MVC, okay, so you can contact me on my contact number. So if you go to my channel, and in the contact details you'll find my direct WhatsApp number, you will also find my email. So if you have any difficulties and if you want technical help, you can connect with me and we can discuss and sort your issues. Okay, and again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.